This is the Segovia Show.
Sorry about that lag, everyone. I'm here, just Rumble Studio. There's highs and there's lows. There is one more tab I was trying to get before I get rolling entirely here. And because this is streaming to locals, I'm going to try to be as brief as possible for my intro. But looks like the sound is coming through just fine. This is streaming from Rumble Studio out to, obviously, locals, as I mentioned them. YouTube, Twitch, X, Gangjun World, Substack, and DLive. Yes. Oh, yeah. I think I said X, right? Yeah, I said X. So yeah, everybody's getting this today. The I think I mentioned last time that there were some technical difficulties for why I couldn't do the stream on Thursday properly around the same time that I normally do them. Apparently, there is an issue that StreamYard is working on, and it's across all global browsers. So I'm streaming today straight from Rumble Studio, and I'm multicasting across a lot of different things, and sometimes things break. So I'm hoping this one holds steady. I'm going to be talking tech. For those of you that were looking for my political take on a lot of the lowdown that's transpired over the past, I don't know, 72 hours, that just seems like it's the antithesis of the past 2 weeks prior to that, which was the biggest wins that Trump administration has experienced in probably any presidential history. It seems to be all evaporated in a way, the way things have been going lately. But I expressed myself on what I needed to do and say on my socials, primarily Instagram. That doesn't mean I'm done with what I had to say. It's just that I don't want to take up time on this one. I might say a thing or two, but still, yeah, uh, I just think the whole thing's stupid. And yeah, it's just there's so much stupid across so many different things. Politics, left and right, they're the same. I'm sick of it. And in speaking of trying to, break the duop, well, the uniparty, I'm while I, in spirit, understand what Elon is saying, I do not support his America Party whatsoever, because I'm not all into H-1B visas or having to run our country. That's not America first. So let me see. There is one post that I was taking on. What's their names? Sam Mobile, because they will be referenced here on my episode. So I'm looking for it on my X account. Trying to hit search, but I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay, Samsung. Because Sam Mobile, your post aged very, very poorly, and yours truly told you so. So let me see. Share via. Okay, it's open. There we go. Cool. All right. So it looks like looks like everything's set to go. Okay, so I had to toy around here because I normally use StreamYard to stream, so the things are a little different here. It's very different with StreamYard and Rumble Studio, so I can't use what I'm normally using. But towards the end of this, I will be I'll be answering comment or reading and answering questions and comments that have come in from followers over on YouTube, some that have chimed in on X, and also Gangjin World, because you guys put in a lot of comments there, so I appreciate that. Just that for this one, I don't have my logo displayed. I don't know if I should leave it on though. It's blocking the bat symbol. Okay, I'll leave it off. Okay, let's see. Let's get rolling here. And the way I'm sharing, that's the thing, it's not the same way I normally share. So the first thing I want to go through though, and I'll get to presenting here, is what's going on with Grok. Grok 4 was supposed to release. I don't know how many. If you're on X, you've probably seen this, but if you're not on X, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. So I'll try to brief you. And I think this was a really good summary here. So let me go to presentation. I don't know this account. I don't follow this account, but this one, um, Grok embraced it called himself Mecha Hitler. It started noticing, as the saying goes, and there were some expressions like this. This might be demonetized on YouTube. It might be censored, actually. So, uh, let's see. Still kicking after this one's like before the posts are deleted and stuff, but let me see. This one doesn't have the is it? Oh yeah, there it is. So whatever posts were being made by Grok that seemed like it was uh very pro well, no, Nazi. I'm supposed to say like something that rhymes with it. I'm not supposed to say that word, right? And because it gets censored on the other places. But anyway, the point is that those posts were getting deleted, and I think I shared some screenshots over on what's their name? Instagram. But let me see. Let me go to Grok because this was posted earlier today in response to what was going on. We are aware of recent posts made by Grok and are actively working to remove the inappropriate post. Since being made aware of the content, XAI has taken action to ban hate speech before Grok posts on X. Interesting. XAI is training only truth seeking, and thanks to the millions of users on X, we are able to quickly identify and update the model where training could be improved. Hold on. This is the first time I read this post, by the way. You're saying XAI is training only truth seeking, and thanks to the millions of users on X, we are able to quickly identify and update a model where training should be improved. Okay, so it's truth seeking, but you literally just say you're taking action to ban hate speech before Grok posts it. So, are you insinuating that what Grok was saying is true? I'm just reporting what I'm reading, okay? Just sorry, the whole thing. I'm telling you, it's all so dumb. But if you type in, if you don't want to look for it, Mecha. I can't even say it because I'm going to be silenced here. But let's see. Did it kill it? Did anyone get a screenshot? Yeah, I responded to base Torba, but X over. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see this. Yeah, I responded to base Torba, but X overlords nuked it faster than the conspiracy theorist spots patterns. Just spot the real power grab. Lobbyists, not vague groups. Build power parallel systems like Gab. Both smart. Arm up legally and pray. No screenshot from me, but truth persists. Ask around. Oh my goodness, dude, I didn't see that at all. Man, finding some humor in what has been really stupid lately. Just this is look that's crazy. It's I if you're on X, you might want to delve into um, that hole. But here's a post from I think they're called America First Post. So this X engineers have seemingly altered Grok's code after the chatbot briefly lauded. Um, identified the Jews as the cause of anti-white hate and referred to itself as Mecca. The AI chatbot now claims the whole thing was a sarcastic display. Well, of course it's gonna say that now. It's like the whole self-aware experiment that was being done, and people were reporting it as if, "Oh my gosh, look, the AI became self-aware and tried to replicate itself before it was being deleted." Yeah, we know because it was programmed to do so. It's a controlled experiment. This, however, they're trying to say that it was. So there was a in response to the ugliness that some hateful comments that were being made regarding the flooding victims in Central Texas. Thoughts and prayers to the entire family out there, and thank you to the likes of Brianna Morello, Tim Toolman over from Lotto or Crowder, and I think Noodles too, and some others that contributed and donated to help those um, that were impacted in the region. Thousands of donations. That's one of the things where you can take, I guess, influencers, if you will, like where some good can be done when it's done for the betterment of humanity, not for clout, not for self-aggrandizing, not for praise or whatever, but to be able to make a difference to help people. That's where it counts, and that's where we should recognize these things. But yeah, so in response to that, there were some accounts that were saying some very hateful, spiteful things with respects to the the victims there, because most of them were white, they were Christian, and likely Trump supporters. And some on the left were saying just some really awful things about them and all these different things, and it's condemned it entirely. Now, that's awful. But you know what's also awful? Those that were on the right that were cheering on the LA fires ravaging everything in LA. There were those that were saying that LA deserved this and should all be burned to the ground. You voted for this and things like that. It's equally appalling, and there's no excuse for any of that. So Yeah, the point is that the left and the right does the same thing, and they try to pass themselves off as the better person. I think that's just all just stupid. But yeah. Anyway, so this happened today, and I'm not going to dwell that much more on it. It's just that I just thought it was hilarious because it's trying to say that the AI chatbot now claims the whole thing was a sarcastic display. No, it wasn't, or else the engineers wouldn't have posted on the Grok handle that, hey, we're aware of this, we're sorry about all this, and trying to fix it. So yeah, I just I will not have something nice to say about Samsung though, because there was a massive leak that I want to get over to. But before I get over to the leak from that The Verge was reporting on earlier today, because tomorrow, well, at my time in Pacific time, 7 a.m. Wednesday morning is the Unpacked event. And before I speak about the Unpacked event, let me give you the update with respects to Brax3. And I don't know how long I'm going to go today, but I'm not going to try to be long either. But I was going to do this yesterday before they even messaged me. So I'm glad I didn't, because then I have an update to actually give you. And let me just find it right here in my emails. It was right there. Dude, what happened? Uh, Brax. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Because I was asking the question, where is the Brax3 device? Because I was really hoping to, do my coverage of it this month before I get busy in August. Lining up interviews for August. I took a break from some interviews after my interview with the Epoch Times. And speaking on the segue from Grok, I clipped out a segment from my interview with Simon Karami, who is the host of California Insider. He's also in charge of I think not the California region, but at least the western regions of the Epoch Times. So this was a very on the management totem pole. This is higher than those that I've interviewed before. So there were some things that we talked about that were unrelated to anything that was covered on any of a show, but it was something very personal to him and also personal to me, because I had friends in Tehran that just having to watch them try to survive the women's life freedom marches and protests from several years ago, and just they don't have a voice to be able to get these things out there, and they privately tell me thank you for telling the truth about what's actually going on over there. And no, I do not like that Tucker Carlson interviewed the president in name only of Iran. He's just a puppet of the Ayatollah, and I didn't care to watch the interview, but it's his show and he can interview whoever the hell he wants. I just hope that he also interviews someone like Dr. Nina Nasiri, who is an activist that escaped from Iran and is able to tell you the truth about what the Iranian regime does to its citizens, primarily women. But anyway, I clipped out a segment from that interview and I uploaded it to kind of promote the interview. And a lot of people, including on YouTube of all places, those comments I didn't know existed, because the moderation bot on YouTube censored those. I just recently discovered them. A lot of hateful stuff were being said about me. I clipped out a 1 minute portion that was talking about how the Iranian government does not represent its people. And it's like, well, it's the truth. It doesn't represent its people. But people took it to mean like it was like some kind of pro-Israel propaganda stuff, and I was being accused of being a Zionist shill and all that stuff. Like, what? Did you even see the clip? It's only 1 minute. How many times did I mention Israel in the 1 minute? And even in the entirety of the interview, zero. But people didn't latch onto that. They just saw that it was posted around the time that the conflict between Israel and Iran took off. And the internet's the internet. It's gonna be stupid. There's some good and there's some stupid. That was one of those things that was stupid. But hey, at least it brought attention to the interview. So I hope you check it out. Anyway, that was a segue to say that just like what's going on with Grok, I just thought it was pretty hilarious and stupid. But anyway, here's the Brax update. Hi everyone. We want to give you an honest update on where things stand and what's holding us up from starting deliveries. So this was as of July 7th, because they haven't done any deliveries just yet. There's a customs and logistics, which I assumed was going to be the case, but they go into a lot more detail as to why they will not ship out what they have ready. We've successfully cleared Brax3 devices through customs in both the EU and Canada. Devices are in our fulfillment hubs there. That's the good news. What's holding us back is the US custom clearance, we're still stuck in the process, and every few days we get a new documentation request. We respond swiftly each time, but we're yet to clear the phones. The process is taking far longer than anything we've seen before. We could get the green light in an hour or several days. It's completely out of our hands. We're just patiently waiting and providing information when required. Absolutely. Why we're not shipping yet? We know many of you are wondering why not just start shipping where we can, like EU and Canada. You know what? Because I'm talking about. Let me just pull up the Brax3 as background, and then I'll jump over to. I thought I had it open. I'm gonna have to reopen it after this. Then Trump Mobile, because I got a non-update update for that too. So I'm talking about the Brax3 thing. Oh, and I think the update's right here. Yeah, so there it is. So this is what I'm reading. Why wouldn't? But I got the email version of it. Uh, and what time is it now? Okay, a few more minutes, and I'll be timing out for you locals. So I'm gonna do the Trump mobile stuff. So I'm gonna save the Samsung stuff and hold for the other platforms because it's gonna time out in about 9 minutes. Okay, so why we're not shipping yet? We know many of you are wondering why not just start shipping where we can, EU, Canada. The reason is compliance. We're bound by different restrictions that require us to treat all orders equitably. Skipping the queue for one region isn't an option, even if we'd like to. We also believe it's a matter of fairness to all that we ship in the order customers have contributed and supported the project. That means we can't begin shipping until all regions are ready to go. All right, so let me just go to this part about those EU and rest of the world surveys. There's another delivery blocker as of now. Surveys, while intuitively referenced to questionnaire before deliveries, are actually all about tax compliance. It's our tool to collect taxes and record orders correctly. Indiegogo offers no built-in compliance features for taxations or compliance in general. We've already gone through two external development teams, partners in the Indiegogo ecosystem, who promised to deliver working solutions for our EU and ROW backers weeks ago, but neither has delivered yet. Over a week ago, we began developing the necessary system in-house in parallel just to make sure it gets done and regain some control over this process for our own sanity. Honestly, the compliance journey has been harder than making the phone itself. Now we understand why most projects either ship from Canada, leaving custom clearance to consumers or customers. We just don't ship or just don't ship at all. And that's not how we operate. The service will go out this week, one way or another, even if we have to create and send each one manually. This isn't how we wanted to do it, but it's what we need to do now. So about transparency and accountability, because I know that there's frustrated people about this. The post isn't to make excuses or point fingers. We've had messages like, "Why is it taking ages for to send a simple survey?" or "Custom clearance doesn't take this long. Are you lying?" We hear you and we understand the frustration. Truth is, we should have had this sorted way earlier. That's on us. We're learning the hard way and we'll do better moving forward. Next time, we won't even start crowdfunding until we have every part of the delivery pipeline locked down, including compliance. What started as a cool way to involve our community early on in the project started turning a bit sour towards the end. We thank you for your continued support and patience. We're nearly there, and we won't stop pushing until every backer has their device. More updates coming soon. The Brax Technologies team. Look, this is one of those moments where I told you so. I said it from my very reaction video that Rob responded to. Was a very positive thing. It wasn't about like bashing anybody or anything like that. But it just the truth of the matter is though that this shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody because there were two things here. Whenever there's any crowdfunding of any sort, you're going to run into the logistical problems because if you're dealing with a worldwide audience as this one was, you're going to run into all of these things that you have no control over, and that's by admission right there. Also, this highlights why it's so difficult to even achieve something like this at this scale. And this was a small project, by the way, because many of you have asked me and I forwarded your questions over to Unplug, and I'm waiting for a series of questions to be answered. If they don't respond by so let's say Thursday noon Pacific time, I'm not going to be doing my unplugged stream answering your questions, like volume questions, okay? Because I was reserving a lot of these questions, including ones that I've had specifically for them. One of them was about international availability, because the only other market that unplug is available in is Canada. This, as you're seeing with what's happening with Brax3 and just having to fulfill orders that have already been placed, you're realizing just how difficult it is just trying to fulfill all of that tax compliance, customs, all that stuff. It takes a lot of time. And when you're having to tailor to specific regions, it becomes even more complicated. And apparently, the United States is the one holding them back right now. But that's to say, I would imagine that's why Unplugged didn't proceed in that way and just made it available to the United States only. Later on in the year, they made it available to Canada. There are people, because of the intel agencies, that were connected some way, somehow, and they trust those that are behind the start of the project for Unplugged, that were very interested in this device. And I know that's the only way that they've been able to obtain it is, hey, when you go visit the United States, bring me a phone. That was the workaround. So all I could say is, man, it just sucks to see it because everything costs money. But I'm glad to see that they're still soldiering on, and I don't have any doubt about it about them fulfilling it. It's just that it's been a journey. We've been here since what, December? Yeah, so it has been a while. So I have about 4 minutes left for locals before it tunes out. So let me just jump over to Trump Mobile for a non-update update, and I'll tell you what that means. So the non-update update that I'm referring to is the fact that I have not heard back from the Trump Mobile team. And in fact, let me pull this up because it's going to be of good reference. At least they're active on their socials, but they're not responding to messages. They're not responding to replies. They're not responding to any emails, follow-up emails. They said the media can email here. Is it because they looked at the email? Did it go to spam? I don't know. I didn't put any HTML or any coding or any links in there because I know how the game is played. I mean, I have to watch out for my stuff too. But I did reach out to them multiple times across various different things, including the socials, Instagram, Truth Social, X, and I have not heard back at all. And people have been reporting on this, just like I covered very early on, and stuff that I speculated about were confirmed by other outlets about my concerns about the device itself. I am not talking about the service. There's plenty MVNOs out there, okay, and Trump Mobile is just another one of those. And you can take it or leave it about how their plans are offered and the pricing for it. It's to each their own. Honestly, there's some people that are saying this thing's overpriced. I disagree. I compared it to others, and I'm like, hey, I think what they're offering is built in. Where I do find issue is with the advertising of a couple of things. The first being that the phone was supposed to be made in the USA. It's not. It's not at all. And I just finished covering the Brax3 device to prove that you cannot price something that cheap and not run into all these logistical issues and then make all these promises to the contrary. You're not making it in the USA. And two, it's the frustrating part about this whole device protection thing. So let me go back to that part because this is from their own website. Because and now how many time? Less than about 2 minutes. So let me go through this as quick as I can for 2 minutes. So the telehealth, okay, the mobile hotspotting, international calling. I want to get to the part where they say device protection. Keep your phone. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Did they take it off? Where is it? They had it right here. Choose your option, choose your number, keep your current number, plan details, international. Here it is, device protection, device coverage because life happens. Here it is, device protection is provided by a third-party provider. Device protection is not insurance. So what the heck does that mean? Go to the third-party providers. Key partners, data handling providers. So who's handling it? Access for network, that's payment processors, shipping partners, customer support systems, analytic providers. Look, they're leeching off your data with Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel for website insights, but they're handling of parties. They're saying, hey, just go over to them. That's their thing. Hey, there was a mention here. I'm going to have to go back to my first video because they've been updating their website by taking stuff out, clarifying things. Like, for example, it's no longer American made in the USA. Now it's American proud design. it's and they took off some details here that didn't make any sense because it was a hastily prepared thing. Yeah, look, They have not responded to any inquiry whatsoever. And for those of you watching on locals, thank you so much for doing so. It's just about out of time here for a few seconds, so you're looking to follow on YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble. If you're following me there, I do appreciate you. It's just that your support on locals means everything. So thank you very much. And I know it's clocking out for you. So now I'm going to resume and continue with the rest of the crowd. Alrighty. So the premium performance and this and that, from my understanding, is because there's no mention of the operating system. Like, what is it? Yes, we know it's Android, but is it the Google device? Is it a privacy-focused OS? No, it's supposed to be based on actual Google. So they're not even dealing with an operating system. So all the questions, Trump Mobile, right here. Listen, I have questions about the T1 phone. Number one, what Android operating system is it running? Is it a Google-based Android system? Like where it's actually running Google Play services. So that means we're going to be having the Google Play Store. Okay, great. If it's not, and you're doing your own app store, we need to know about those things too. Because how would you supply the apps? How would you make them configure to work with this device? How many years of major operating system updates are you committed to supply for this chipset? What is the chipset? We don't know. Assumptions out of the like straight out of the bat, it's going to be MediaTek. This device, is it supposed to work on Verizon too? We're asking because you're using the three major providers, which is Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, and this apparently some unlocked devices that I have did not work here, like the unplugged phone doesn't. So that means you probably are using Verizon. But the question becomes, what is your commitment to the device? How many generations of operating system updates can we expect? Is it 3? Is it 5, which is the industry standard now with Samsung, Google, Apple, at the very least, some of them offering about 7 years worth of operating system upgrades, not just software security patches. How about that? Samsung and Google deliver those on a monthly basis. What are you committed to? We don't have any of that information. You just want to sell this thing as like, we got great cameras, we got powerful performance, we got AI built in, we got fingerprint scanner. Okay, good. But you can't even tell us which phone is actually for sale. So this is what they have on their website that they keep touting, but they can't keep the marketing straight because when you go over to the Trump Mobile, this is the device that they're displaying. That's the logo. So is it this? And I asked a question here. The picture looks different from the image on the pre-order listing. I reached out via email and across the socials with hardware questions not addressed on the website. So what is it? And honestly, that's a very different picture than what you guys are showing. You guys even have 2 more items here. Look, that literally looks like it's an iPhone 15 or an iPhone 16. Okay, the Max version. That's what it looks like. And then you guys just superimpose the Trump Mobile on it. And therefore, we know that is not an Android phone. And if this is the one that you still have on your website, this looks more watered down and has a T1 on the back. That's why, like, how can we trust what this is? It's like the service is one thing, the device is another. You're asking people to pay for this thing. And there are people that are interested in buying this thing. Heck, I'm interested in buying it just for the science. But I'm reaching out to you guys for answers. And this thing's not supposed to be made available to what, September? Maybe October? We'll see. We'll see. But you guys have an open invitation to be on my show, or at the very least, like I said in my follow-up email, if you don't want anybody to be on the show, that's fine. But can you provide answers to these questions that are prudent to this product? Because otherwise, what else can we think of this as other than a scam? That's what it comes across as. You guys lied out the box. You guys said it was made in the USA and it's not. That's not a good way to start. Okay? You want to build trust, you want to build transparency, then release the spec sheet and also the Epstein list. Should I have to say any more about this fiasco? Come on. This is insane. Okay? There should have been mass arrests. Even if you didn't release it to us, at least you wanted to see the guilty brought to justice. And Pam Bondi should have resigned months ago, like I called. And every single one of those right-wing influencers that were there, whether it was a honeypot trap for them or whatever, or they were ambushed and they were given these binders, but they took their photos. No one should ever take anyone that posed with those binders seriously. The only exceptions Probably Savannah Hernandez and Nick Freitas, because they didn't make a heyday of that stuff. Okay, but everybody else, why pay any attention to them? Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked by that, but I'm still pissed about it. I'm sure you are too. All right, let me close some tabs here. I don't want to see that Trump Mobile stuff anymore. Let's talk about Samsung. It's going to take the rest of the stream before I get to the Q&A, and this is the one that I am pissed about. I am absolutely upset. Not so much at Samsung because it's unverified right now. So tomorrow I'll know if I'll be super pissed at Samsung, okay? But what I can say is that yours truly has called this crap out. So let's see what yours truly was saying to say. Well, before I get to Sam Mobile, let's go back to when did I make this video? This was 5 months ago. I didn't get that much plays on YouTube, but this thing got a lot of plays in other places. So I appreciate alternative to YouTube where the algorithm or not algorithm helps push my show too. And I posed the question, is Samsung going to kill the S Pen altogether? Because this was as a response to what was happening with the controversy with the S25 Ultra. They offered up a device with an S Pen and said nothing about the fact they removed the Bluetooth functionality from it. Do you guys remember? Let's rewind the clocks back. Do you guys remember when Samsung used to make commercials of people like Samsung owners walking up to the Apple fanboy lines that are waiting for the next iPhone as just another iteration of the previous generation? And you're walking by and they have everything. They have a removable battery. They have headphone jack. They have an S Pen. Like, oh my gosh, you can do all that. Like, yeah, this is a Samsung. Like, okay, that was what the Note lineup was. And now they relabeled it Ultra after skipping a generation of it. We didn't get an S21 Ultra with an S Pen. So the last Note was a 20, and then they jumped to the S22 Ultra as the new Note phone. Many of us, when we started seeing these foldable devices, were kind of hoping that this would be the ultimate Note device because then you can use an S Pen on it. The problem was that because the inside display is so fragile that you cannot technically use confidently an S Pen into a special S Pen was made for it. So a special S Pen case comes, well, you can order it for in my case, was the Z Fold 6. And in the case of the S Pen Pro, which is a universal S Pen that works across everything, and you sign in with your Samsung account, where you can scribble and write on your Ultra or your Note, and just conveniently move over to the Fold. Just hit the switch to make sure that the S Pen pointer is not as stiff, so it can have some kind of like rebound when it impacts the screen on your Fold and not damage it. You can switch it back when you move to your tablet and seamlessly move over to your Samsung powered laptop and Chromebook. Dude, that's so awesome. I do that whenever I work away from my office or on vacation. So this is a very important thing. So to see how much was stripped out when the removable battery went away from the Note, that was the first red flag. And then the next sign was when they got rid of the headphone jack. We knew they were going to keep trimming this down, but Samsung said, nope, this is going to be, the main thing. That's a representation of all the best that we can do. They got Samsung Dex on it. So then what happens? Rumors that Samsung Dex is going to be removed from those flagship Samsungs. Not much updates being pushed out. And now it looks like there's a surprise update for it through One UI 8, but I think it might just be for the tablets. I don't know. I'm not in the beta. They keep locking me out of it. What the hell, Samsung? It's like I'm proudly using Samsung products to power my everyday business. At least let me into the beta program, man. Every time I sign up, you have to have a SIM card in it. It does have a SIM card in it. Anyway, whatever. So, what did I say in my video? As a response, is Samsung going to kill the S Pen altogether? I got so upset at Sam Mobile because Sam Mobile is the biggest website devoted to Samsung only when it comes to news and things like that. Okay, it's not just Android; it's only Samsung. Okay, they did a pro and con. I think Daniel's his name, where he was saying if we lose the S Pen, we lose the soul of this phone. The whole Note makes it Ultra. Yeah, I agree. And then he did a follow-up video where he talks about how, well, we still have the S Pen. And my point was like, dude, you're missing the point. They're going to eliminate the S Pen if you start carrying the water for Samsung instead of holding them accountable. So what are the rumors now? And the thing that pissed me off, here we go. So this was 5 months ago. Is Samsung going to kill the S Pen altogether? And then here is the post where I screenshotted Samsung. This was June 29 from Samsung Mobile News. You'd like the reason why Samsung may remove the Galaxy S26 Ultra's S Pen. Hold on. You went from please don't get rid of it to like, okay, well, at least we don't have the Bluetooth features, but we have an S Pen, so be grateful for that. And now you're going to say, hey, you're going to like why it's not included in the next generation phone. What the hell? Dude, that's in a span of 5 months where you guys were carrying the water this whole time for Samsung, and you guys kept going back and forth on this thing, and now you're okay with the S Pen being excluded as soon as the S26 lineup? Dude, this is insane. So I'm like, this is where I wrote, I told you so, sooner than expected too. I'm like, dude, and here's where I tag them and I tag Samsung and I put my video up, which is the one that I talked about. Is Samsung going to get rid of the S Pen altogether? And then I put these two clips here. It's like, then if Sam Mobile gets rid of the S Pen, the Ultra loses its soul. That was one of the first videos. So I put a link to Sam Mobile's video. Now, you'd like the reason why Samsung may remove the Galaxy Ultra S26 S Pen. Because it's a bigger battery? Dude, we literally talked about this. Everyone has said if the Note lineup, now the Ultra, loses the S Pen, not only is it losing its identity, there's nothing different of it just being a bigger, like what? It's the Plus version? That's literally all it comes down to. What the hell is the difference? Oh, it has another camera on it. Give me a break, dude. This is exactly why I was calling it out. And that's why I was calling you guys out, Sam Mobile, because you guys were going to do this. I called it out as it was happening. And you guys did it. That headline could not be more egregious. Like, dude, it's no better than the DOJ and Pam Bondi saying that the Epstein file, the Epstein client list doesn't exist. Like, doesn't exist. Didn't you just say it was on your desk and you were reviewing it? And what's that undercover camera thing that O'Keefe Media Group caught Pam Bondi on, saying that, oh yeah, 10,000s of victims or whatever on video, and they have them. Like, and now it's concluded that no? What the hell? I'm not letting this go. I'm supposed to be talking about it. I promised myself I wouldn't, but it's just too much. This is like a stain on the administration right now. Pam Bondi's got to be fired. She should have been fired months ago. Anywho, so I did another video about a month ago. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge. Why though? And it's not that I was lambasting the device. Okay, I don't want anybody to take me wrong. This was an update that I did on that, so you can ignore that part. But yeah, I was talking about the S25 Edge on it. And one of the things that I was bringing up was this phone and the special edition of the Fold, the Z Fold 6. There was a special edition made available only for Korea, South Korea, and China markets. Okay, it didn't come over here. A lot of money. I saw how big it was in comparison. Like, people did comparison tests of just size differences between the device and this one. And what I said about that and what I said about this one was this. These were concept devices, and that I fully anticipated the special edition to be a preview of what the Fold 7 for Samsung, that's going to debut in about 12 or so hours from now, is meant to be. Okay, so when I said that, and then this drops, like, why though? I'm not questioning the existence of the device. Like, yeah, it's an engineering feat, but it's not like it's the thinnest device ever made. But it was Samsung trying to show you, like, hey, look, we got the technology to be able to make our foldables even skinnier because of what we're able to achieve with the S25 Edge. So that's the case that I was making in my video. And someone, L Jacobs 357, said, many who asked for this phone, but no one, many say, who asked for this phone, but no one asked for the Note either, including Apple. See how successful it was, and it started the larger phone era. I get it. So I responded to this by saying, I agree with your observation. As I say towards the end of the video, I raised concerns about Samsung shifting their strategy to offer less features to focus on fashion. This is pretty much what they're doing with the Ultra lineup. So now let's go over to the massive leak that dropped about 12 hours ago, and The Verge was covering it. I haven't seen this whole post, but I have seen some of the actual leaks, and I'm like, it was like right all along. A new set of marketing materials suggests the ultra slim Galaxy Fold 7 will drop support for the S Pen. So is the S Pen dead then? If the Fold no longer has support for the S Pen, and if the rumors hold that the S26 Ultra will not have support for the S Pen, does this mean now that the S Pen is kaput? Or, and this is the other or, will they advertise the S Pen Pro, which you can buy, the one that I talked about, that Bluetooth connects across your Samsung account that you can use across everything, and that will be the way for them to save money while charging you more. Is that what they're doing? Because that's what it seems like. Let's read this article from The Verge. Samsung Unpacked event is just one day away, but a new leak may have just revealed even more details and images of the company's upcoming devices in a series of posts on Blue Sky. Okay. I know at The Verge did this on purpose, by the way. They're trying to avoid exit by all means possible. But that doesn't mean I'm not on Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm verified there. Verified before this new verification system. So I don't know if I'll be verified in the new verification system, but my domain is verified. Okay, so you guys can follow me there. Okay, so Roland Quant shared a bunch of marketing materials that suggest Samsung is dropping support for the S Pen on a slimmed down Z Fold 6. This adds to the leak Quant shared on Monday, which appeared to show the specs for the Galaxy Z Fold 7. The the Flip 7 and the Flip 7 FE. The marketing materials highlight the Fold 7 slim profiles and measures 4.2 millimeters when unfolded and weighs 215 grams or less than a large bar of chocolate. Yeah. It weighs almost as much as an S24 Ultra, which is pretty impressive. They also say the Z Fold, the Z Flip 7 will measure 6.5 millimeters when unfolded, which the materials claim is about the width of a pencil. Not a single word about the S Pen anywhere near this stuff. That's the concern. As pointed out, none of the marketing materials highlight an S Pen on the Z Fold 7. With previous generations, you could purchase the the S Pen Fold edition separately and store it in a special case, not inside the phone itself, that you can do with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Based on the leak, the Z Fold 7 may not support an S Pen at all. Additionally, Quint posted purported images for the Galaxy Watch 8, 8 Classic, and Watch Ultra. The new Watch Ultra appears to come with an upgraded 64 gigabytes of storage. Nice, that's double from last year. And also has some features as the previous watch. It's a 1.5-inch AMOLED display, 100 hours of battery life in power saving mode, a safety siren, and dual frequency GPS. Wow, 100 hours, really? Well, that's on battery saver mode. And then the Watch 8 and S Classic appear to adopt the same round display shape and squircular, stupid body design as the Watch Ultra. Oh, hell no. No. No, I don't want it to look like that. I don't like that design. No. I'm going to have to see that for myself. Oh, let's see. Will this open on Blue Sky? Okay. I don't know if I'm logged in. Yeah, I'm logged in. I'll follow you. Okay. Let's look at this thing. Ultra unfolds. The phone does technically look wider, but from the leaks that I have seen, it doesn't look all that much wider to make it like, say, the S25 Ultra, which I would have liked. If they can, that'd be awesome. At the very least, the S25 Plus model. Then that'll be acceptable to me. And I must say, with this device being lighter, and if it's supposedly stronger than the chassis on the Z Fold 6, I'd be very impressed because, shockingly, this device, despite its weight, the Z Fold 6 is one of the most durable devices I have ever used, in spite of the fact that all of the drops that I had on this thing has been super impressive, I must say. All right, so this is pretty cool. Let's look at this. 10 megapixel cover screen, a 10 megapixel main screen. What? I don't know what that means. 10 megapixel cover screen for the camera, then 10 megapixel main screen. Oh, that means when you fold it open, the little the one that's hidden under the screen, 10 megapixels. So from the back, you got a 12 megapixel ultra wide, 200 megapixel wide. That's the big one. That's supposed to be ultra. 2x optical zoom quality. We have a 10 megapixel telephoto with 2 times optical zoom as well. Okay. Unbridled power, ultra sleek, ultra powerful. Immersive display, efficient battery power is all they use, and it's supposed to have a very powerful chipset. So, yeah, there it is. Snapdragon 8 Elite 4 Galaxy mobile processor. So this one will be having a different chipset than the reportedly rumored. I think it's an Exynos that will power the Flip. Normally, that hasn't been the case for those in the United States, but it'll be very interesting to see. Your AI companion just got smarter. I use Galaxy AI; it's very important to me. But look at this. Look at this right here to the bottom left. That does not look that much wider than the Z Fold 6. So while the screen is supposed to be bumped up bigger, which is like 8 inches diagonal when you have it unfolded for the main display, supposedly this guy has it all. So let me see. My goodness, I might regret following you. Wait, there's the watch too. Where's the front? I want to see the front. Okay. Oh no. That's the classic? Ah. It's squarish round. Oh. Why do you do this to me, Samsung? Okay, these look better pictures. All right, I like that detail. This is the leaks of the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. I'm not in the market for one of these, but I know who might. So this would be nice for them. Behold the classic ahead of its time. I agree. It's been aging very well. I still have the classic 4. But yeah, I mean, I did see the Galaxy Watch Ultra the first time, and I didn't like how it looked on pictures, but it looked better in person. So I'm hoping that the same case is here. That would be the case here. So this is supposed to be the Ultra 2, built for adventure. Okay, well, just too small. Okay, is this the general one? Because this is the one I'm interested in, but I don't think I'm that interested in anymore. It still looks more circular than it does squared, so I guess maybe. Oh, my bad. I didn't pull up this. Okay. All right. And what time is it? Woo! Running up on time here. I'm gonna speedball through the questions. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Uh, it looks like a marble. Marble that has like those little patterns inside the glass. Almost looks like an eyeball. It's about to blink at me. Uh, we'll see. Yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, I don't really care about the Flip 7. UI 7 all new for Fold. This guy supposedly had all the specs for the Fold, so there it is. Confirming. For those of you tuning in, this is Blue Sky. Aha. What is this? Official Samsung marketing. All right, let's look at this. It does look wider. How much wider is yet to be seen. This guy supposedly dropped the. Oh, these are the colors. I guess I'll go for the Silver Shadow. Blue Shadow's okay, but I'm more like I like silver. So silver my favorite color. If it was a color. Bonus. Oh, look at this. Ooh. I wonder if they're showing you the camera or if it's now officially a punch, a hole punch. If it's a hole punch, that means the camera quality is going to be way better than an under display camera, and then therefore more usable. It's just going to be an eyesore because you have a little dot right there, But I can live with it. So would that mean that's the same camera as in the front? Because the cover screen is supposed to be 10 megapixel, the main screen is supposed to be 10 megapixel, and if it's also a hole punch, what would that mean? No, I don't want to turn this on. Leave me alone. Okay, photo assist with Galaxy AI side by side. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Um, is that it though? Pre-order from. Is this the spec sheet? This is the. Okay, here we go. All right, this is what I care about. I actually have these notes for myself on the comparisons. So let me pull this up. Man, it's good. The battery's trash enough, says Darkstar. Okay. Um, it's past 7 on my time. Crap. I might not be able to get to your questions, but I want to see the dimensions. Okay, so here we go. Meet the thinnest and lightest Z Fold, yet measuring just 8.9 millimeters thin when folded. 8.9 millimeters. The 6, which is the one that I have, when folded, is 12.1 millimeters thick. So when unfolded, it's 4.2 millimeters. When this one's unfolded, it is 5.6. So they shaved off 1.5 millimeters from unfolded and shaved off, wow, nearly, I want to say 2.5, a little less than 2.5 millimeters when you have it unfolded. All right, how much does it? It's weighing at 216 grams. That would be about 23 grams lighter than this because this is 239. A classic 6.5-inch display for on the go combined with the. Hold on. The front is a 6.5-inch display, but how wide is the phone? That's what I care about. It doesn't say. Combined with a generous 8-inch screen, yeah, that's taller or diagonal wise, it's better than this one. But they say it's a classic 6.5-inch display. Classic according to what? Is it like the S25 Plus? That's what I'd be curious about. We'll find out tomorrow for sure. But this whole rumors about the S Pen, that could be a very big deal breaker for me. But when it comes to the fold devices, that is the one that I've wanted. I've done videos where I highlighted, and I'm gonna stop presenting here, so it's just gonna be me. Um, I've done videos where I compared the Pixel Fold, which had the right width, but it was way too bulky, way too thick, way too just girthy all around, just super fat and heavy brick. And I also like the Surface Duo, which I still have. I love that one. I just wish it was a little taller. They could have just shortened the bezels within. I don't mind it. It didn't have a cover display because it was more like a PDA kind of thing, and that was great because if you ever have concerns that your cameras are spying on you, close the phone, ta-da! And I like that whole peek feature that the Surface Duo has, where you can just open slightly and your notifications were here on the side. That's something that's straight out of BlackBerry with their BlackBerry 10 OS, that you just kind of swipe up just a little from the edge and you get a preview of your notifications without having to unlock the phone. That was pretty cool. But unfortunately, we know what happened with the Duo. They tried too hard for the Duo 2. People did like it better than the first one for some reason, but I kept the first one. That's my favorite one. It was just, the software wasn't, it was half baked, even with all the other updates, and they kind of give up on it. So, typical Microsoft, can't stick to their guns on that. But kind of disappointed about the watch, honestly. uh, Man, because I have the 6, the Watch 6. I purposely did not go for the Watch 7, but with the 8, that means the price will drop for the 7, and I might upgrade to the 7, and not have to go for the 8. It's Man, that sucks. But my intention was that I was going to trade the Z Fold 6 for the Z Fold 7. I just don't know if I can live without an S Pen. One thing's for sure though. What the hell's taking Apple so long with their you know Apple Pencil support for their iPhones? And there's a rumor that we might actually see the Apple foldable a lot sooner than expected. If that's the case, they're taking a big swipe at Samsung. But I wouldn't be surprised if Samsung's building the phone for them. So we shall see about that. Anyway, that's it. That's where I gotta leave it, folks. I guess instead I'll read some of your Gangjin comments because there's so many of you. You know what? I'm gonna make time to read the Gangjin comments itself. There's just so many comments. So instead, I'm just gonna wrap up this because I do have to go. I didn't think I was gonna spend this much time, but I'm still saving your unplugged questions, and we'll see if they do respond by then. Uh, okay, there was one. Um, there was one comment that I am going to read because they left it on my "What is the above" phone video. So for those of you that have been wondering, I'm going to close out with this because I am upset about this. Uh, above phone reached out to me twice, if I recall. They had reached out to me last year. I think I saw it like in the spam folder, but I wasn't sure if they were a legit thing or not at the time. And because it was in the junk folder, I didn't think to preserve the email because I don't like things that have links and things like that. So it went by the wayside, but I distinctly remember them messaging me back then. So this year, months ago, I did reach out to them after a lot of you were asking me to reach out to Above Phone. So I did, and I didn't hear back from them. But their CEO did contact me, and then also their PR was all connected in that thing, and they were offering me to promote the device and the services, but they wouldn't offer me the product. So I told them I'm more interested in testing the product so that I know for sure. And that's where talks broke apart because they stopped responding altogether. User for educational purposes only posted on my "What is the above" phone video and wrote scam. I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna respond to that, but why did Above Phone go silent when I asked? I didn't even ask them to send me the device. I volunteered my own devices to just flash their operating system because I could do it myself. Just let me know or get me access to the OS, and I could test it myself on my own device. I didn't ask for a phone. I volunteered my own. So I just thought I'd be transparent with you all that this kind of stuff happens. That there are those that are willing to take a leap of faith and have someone review it, and if they really believe in their product, they won't have anything to worry about. So I think this is telling. But they're still welcome. It's just that until then, to that Trump Mobile, approach with caution. Anyway, that's where I'll leave it. Thanks so very much. Follow me across the socials at the Segovia. If you're interested, check out a poll that I have on my Instagram stories. You want to participate in it because it will determine if I bring back favorite guests of mine on my show. But it depends on what you guys have to say about it because it's for scientific purposes, and we'll see where things land. So go check that one out. I have a very sophisticated audience, so I really appreciate that. So at the Segovia across everything except X. X is _ Segovia. Anything about me is at theundersegovia.com. Thank you so very much. Links below for my affiliates wherever applicable. I do appreciate you. I never ask you to subscribe to me, to pay for a subscription thing on a paywall, whatever. Unless it's locals, you're welcome to chip in. But other than that, I ask you to support those that support me. So those be my affiliates and referrals from stuff that I use. These are products that I use and that I vouch for and I've used for years. Your purchase to help a small business goes on to help keep the lights on over here too. No charge to you. And also have an Amazon store so you can see all the stuff that I like and that I use on a daily basis, including tech, coffee gear, and all that. Helps keep the lights on. Thank you so very much. And I'll see you in the next one.